Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the financial year 2025-26 statutory compliance workflow for multi-province operations in Pakistan. Look, if you're the one managing payroll, HR, or corporate finance across different regions, you already know that keeping up with all these shifting provincial regulations can be a total headache. Well, we are going to completely streamline that today.
We've got a tight agenda today, hitting 6 key areas. First, statutory compliance. Second, the simulator navigation guide. Third, entering your master data. Fourth, the calculation engine. Fifth, monthly and annual projections. And finally, number 6, deadlines, penalties, and filing.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, FY 2025-26 Statutory Compliance, establishing the baseline. Because let's be real, you literally can't calculate accurate liabilities if your foundational data is outdated.
So there's a really crucial distinction we need to establish straight out of the gate. Federal EOBI requires contributions from both sides. We're talking 5% from the employer and 1% from the employee, and that's strictly based on the government notified minimum wage. Now, provincial Social Security, totally different beast. That is strictly an employer liability, employees don't pay a dime for it, and it operates on a set percentage that gets capped at very specific insurable wage ceilings.
And regionally, the landscape gets pretty fragmented. For FY 2025-26, Punjab, Sindh, and KPK are sitting at a minimum wage baseline of 40,000 rupees. But Balochistan and the Islamabad Capital Territory, they're still at 37,000. Plus, while most provinces charge a 6% Social Security rate, Sindh is actually an outlier with a unique 7% SESSI rate. These specific numbers are the foundational logic for your whole liability footprint. Basically, if you get these wrong, your entire budget is compromised from day one. Moving right along to Section 2, the Simulator Navigation Guide, your corporate workflow. So how exactly do we manage all this complexity without pulling our hair out making manual errors?
Well, your workflow is defined by 3 incredibly simple steps. First up, you just verify the statutory rates on the rate card tab to make sure they match the latest government notifications. Second, you lock in your master data by typing it into the employee register. And third, you literally just sit back and review the consolidated summaries. That's the whole shebang. The system does all the heavy lifting right between steps 2 and 3.
To make this process totally bulletproof, the workbook uses built-in visual constraints. Think of these as your guardrails. It's a color-coded system. You only ever input data into the blue cells. You never ever touch the black formula cells. And if you see a yellow background pop up, hit the brakes. That means there's a critical compliance warning you need to look at. That brings us to Section 3, entering employee master data and securing the inputs. This is the absolute core of your monthly routine. The employee register is really where the magic happens. By just dropping an employee's salary and selecting their province in those blue input columns, you kick off an entire compliance cascade. The beauty of this is that you don't even need to know the math. You just need to know where your employee works and what their gross wage is.
Let's look at Section 4, the automated calculation engine. We're going to map exactly how that data flows. Let's see how one simple input turns into a full liability projection. The second you finish typing in a blue cell, that raw data gets automatically yanked right into both the EOBI and the specific provincial Social Security calculators. It happens instantly, without you doing a thing, and locks safely into those black formula cells. This architecture literally takes human mathematical error completely out of the equation. But here's where it gets really smart. The engine isn't just doing math, it's actually enforcing the law. Take compliance anomalies, for instance. Say an employee earns above the insurable wage ceiling. Like, let's say they make 85,000 rupees in Punjab, where the ceiling is only 40,000. By law, they are completely excluded from provincial Social Security. You don't just pay a capped amount, you pay absolutely nothing to PESSI for that specific employee. Now, if a payroll clerk accidentally tries to pay Social Security for that high earner, well, that's just a direct loss to your company's bottom line. So the simulator catches this, it throws up a bright yellow warning that says above ceiling, and this is key, it automatically zeroes out the liability in the black formula cells, so there's absolutely no way you overpay the government. On the flip side, the EOBI calculator is super rigid. It applies that 5% employer and 1% employee rule against the government notified minimum wage, never the actual salary. So the engine just generates the exact employee deductions automatically, like 400 PKR for folks in those 40,000 rupee baseline provinces and 370 PKR for the 37,000 rupee ones. The logic is totally airtight. Okay, Section 5, monthly and annual projections, the final output. Once the calculators chew through your master data, all those results bubble up into our forecasting tools. The monthly summary takes those precise outputs and consolidates them, province by province. It neatly separates EOBI from all the different provincial institutions, handing you the exact payable amounts for that specific month. No more hunting through messy employee lists. The exact figures you need for your payment challenge are just sitting right there.
But hey, we're not just looking at the current month, right? These monthly figures feed seamlessly right into the annual projection tab, creating a full 12-month budget planning tool. And because it's all auto-linked, if you add a new hire or give someone a salary bump in the blue cells back in the master register, that change instantly ripples through the timeline. It updates your entire annual fiscal outlook across every institution.
To put that into perspective, for the specific sample dataset running inside the simulator, the workflow spits out a totally forecasted annual statutory liability of exactly 613,440 PKR. You can literally walk that exact number into a meeting with your CFO with 100% confidence, knowing exactly how the math was derived and legally verified.
Finally, Section 6, deadlines, penalties, and filing. I like to call this the compliance hammer, because perfectly accurate forecasting doesn't mean a thing if we miss our statutory deadlines. Remember this timeline. After you process payroll at the end of the month, the clock starts ticking fast. All EOBI and provincial Social Security contributions have to be deposited by the 15th of the following month. The 15th is your absolute line in the sand. No exceptions.
Miss that deadline, and boom, you instantly trigger some seriously aggressive financial penalties. We are talking about a 2% additional monthly surcharge for EOBI. And for provincial entities like Punjab's PESSI, you're looking at up to a massive 10% initial surcharge, plus an extra 2% for every single month after that. So failing to execute step 3 of your workflow on time quickly turns a standard operating expense into a massive, cascading legal and financial nightmare. So we've seen how understanding the baselines, respecting those visual safety guardrails, and letting the automated engine handle the flow of your data can just completely revolutionize this workflow. Now that the data flow is mapped and the financial risks are crystal clear, the really big question left for your boardroom is this: are your financial year 2025-26 projections truly compliance ready? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely encourage you to go review your own master data today.